I'm speaking to a woman who has questioned her worth. You've been in situations and relationships where you weren't appreciated. You feel like you've got so much love to give, so much value to offer, but it's not necessarily reciprocated in return. You spent a lot of your life extending yourself to helping others, and you've not really received that same support in return. If this sounds like you, then this is a message for you today. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always use your discernment. You are responsible. Okay, let's dive into today's reading. I feel like you're someone who is tired of thinking your way through things. You've questioned so many times, why does this person not love me in the way that I love them? How can I give so much to someone or to others and then not necessarily receive that in return? What do I need to do to deserve the same love and appreciation that I give out to others? That is the energy I'm sensing for you guys. I feel like you have a very soft heart, although on the outside you might come across as very strong, very independent, maybe dominant or powerful. For others of you, you might come across as a little bit more submissive, but I do really feel like I'm speaking to a woman who knows how to show up as a strong version of herself, or as an independent version of herself. You don't know what it's like to be loved for who you are. But also, there's two things coming through here. On the one side, some of you might have experienced an absence of love in childhood. This could be an absent father, this could be an absent mother, this could be an absent figure, a prominent figure, that did not show up for you in the way that you desired to. And so you've had to kind of figure out how to be independent, how to do things by yourself, how to figure things out. On the other side, I feel like some of you have come into this life with so much love to give. You've come into this life with this natural inclination of knowing how to support other people, knowing how to help other people. And sometimes that's been taken advantage of. Sometimes people have taken your love and your kindness and your support, taken it for a ride, basically. And what this message is saying is that you've entered this season where you're able to sit in your power. That's what I keep hearing, is she's sitting in her power. You've realized what is a yes in your life and what is a no in your life. Now, before we jumped on the call, I pulled this one card, and the card was boundaries. It says, I'm worthy and deserving of setting and maintaining boundaries that serve me. The angels want you to remember, if you keep prioritizing the needs of others and ignoring your own, then things might fall apart. For once, love yourself and do things that please you, no matter what other people might say. This is what I want you to hear today. This is the core message. It is okay to prioritize yourself. It is okay to fill your own cup and then serve from the overflow. It is okay to still be loving and supportive and wanting to help other people, but it's also okay to sit in your own power as you do so. I really feel like I want to say to you that you've learned how to say no. Some of you might still be going through this journey. For others, I feel like you've been through this season of learning how powerful your no is, and actually saying, no, I can't support you in that. No, I can't extend myself. No, I can't have that phone call. No, that doesn't feel good for me. And this is going to be changing how you show up and how other people show up for you in ways that you can't even understand yet. Okay? So that's really important for you to know. I feel like you're entering this season of wanting to be more in flow. You don't want to use your mind as much as you did previously. You don't want to have to think about every tiny thing. I almost feel like you're in this season of wanting to exhale and let a masculine energy lead you, or let other people lead you and guide you, rather than you being the one that figures everything out, or you being the one that leads everyone else. So that's really coming through quite strongly. Oof. The card I just pulled, leadership. You can't write this stuff, guys. You literally can't write this. So leadership, and I'm seeing a lighthouse here. So really being a beacon of light for other people. What if that is actually how you can support people the best? What if your way of loving people is through being the example, through being the lighthouse of what it looks like to stand strong in your boundaries and to sit in your power and to follow your truth no matter what? Maybe that's what your leadership actually is. You don't need to be the one that's always organizing, doing, figuring it out, helping, supporting at the extent of giving up yourself. Maybe your leadership and your way of loving is actually being the lighthouse for other people to access their own wisdom, love, and light within themselves. Maybe that's what it is. Some of you might have been seeing butterflies lately. I feel like you're coming out of this cocoon. You're almost figuring out how to navigate through life in a new way. There might have been some stagnancy. You might have taken a break over the last few years from work, from something in your life. It does feel like it's been a break from work, or kind of taking a bit of a back seat. For some of you, that will resonate. For others, it won't. Okay, the card I've just pulled here for you, 111, intuition. Some of you might have been seeing this number recently. For others of you, this might be the first time, but let's dive in. It says insight, serenity, harmony, clarity, joy, momentum, self-awareness, initiative, unconditional love. That is what you've been learning, unconditional love. Isn't that beautiful? Now is the time to realize your long-held ideas. You're on the right path to turning your dreams into reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are coming together to support you. Happiness and new opportunities are within reach. Trust the journey and have faith in the process. This is because you're putting yourself first. This year for you is really about putting yourself first. It's actually about trusting that when you want something and that desire is there, you get to go after it. You don't always have to prioritize other people. And some of you listening to this might be mothers. And so that might be quite hard to balance what you want versus showing up for your child. But look at this, the leadership, the lighthouse, be the beacon of light. It's not a case of it has to be my needs or their needs. It's more of a case of how can my needs be met, but whilst doing that, I'm also allowing other people's needs to be met through being the lighthouse, through being the beacon. Okay, this number, 2323, endless cycles, charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, repetitive patterns, transformation. You may find yourself repeatedly resisting certain truths, leading to feelings of exhaustion and limitation. It's time to decide to live authentically for yourself, embracing your passion. That's what we're talking about. Self-leadership, putting yourself first. By making this change, the world around you will begin to follow suit, breaking the cycle and fostering transformation. For some of you, this is a cycle you've learned from your mum or from women in your family, is to put other people above your own. And I really feel like you're going to be connecting with, I just keep seeing this river of flow. For some of you, you might be having a lot of ideas come through, whether you run your own business or whether you work for someone else. I do feel like there's going to be this shift in the way that you work. I feel like you're not wanting to be in hustle as much as you were previously. I keep getting this energy of exhale, flow, river, like you kind of maybe want someone else to provide for you or to be more providing for you. It just really feels, yeah, like you're accessing this flow. There's going to be a lot of ideas that are going to be coming, and some of you might be tapping into more creative pursuits that you've maybe ignored. Okay, wisdom. My mind is strong, open, and clear. The angels are letting you know that working on nurturing a deeper connection with your own divine power can help you to deal with changes and challenges with ease, and can ensure you become your own tower of wisdom and calming presence in your life. That's so wonderful. For some of you, this might be, I feel like this is saying that you've learned a lot of lessons over the last few years. I feel like for some of you, you've been in relationships where they haven't given you what you've wanted. And it's almost like you've been with this person because it gives you the illusion of safety and security, when deep down you're like, I'm not actually truly fulfilled. I'm not truly fulfilled. I'm not being met in the way that I want to be met. Why can someone not meet me? Now you've learned from that. You've actually gained wisdom from those experiences. I feel like you're not settling for less. You're sitting in your power, and you know that you do not need to be the savior in any relationship. You do not need to save anyone. You do not need to rescue anyone. You need to meet someone that is going to be able to meet you where you're at. It's two complete humans coming together to make 200%. You're both operating at 100% capacity, and you meet each other and it becomes 200%. That's the feeling that I'm getting. Because in the past, you would give your 100% and they would meet you at, say, 20%, 30%, 50%, and then you're left feeling drained and exhausted and questioning, oh, when are they going to step up? When are they going to treat me, romanticize me in the way that I really want to be loved, in the way that I really want to be treated? And then you see other people getting that experience and you're like, why not me? I've got so much to offer. I know I'm a catch. Why are other people experiencing all of that and I'm not? And now I think you've really got this wisdom where boundaries is very important. People will treat you in the way that you energetically allow it. Let's do one of these cards, actually. I feel like this would be quite good. Yeah, I feel like you have been discovering yourself. and what you've been discovering how you want to lead and live your life, despite if other people like it or enjoy it. Isn't that quite interesting? Okay. Okay. I've just pulled the longing card. Look at this. Craving, aching, wanting. And there's a purple flower here that might be relevant to some of you. You might have been drawn to flowers or the color purple. You've been craving and wanting to be met. You've been craving for someone to appreciate you, for someone else to see your worth. But you know what? You've had to see it within yourself first. You've had to realize that your worth is not dependent on how you can reach out and support other people. Your worth is not determined by how you can help other people. Your worth is determined by how you choose to see yourself. And also, I feel called to say here that in certain environments, what you have to offer will not be seen as valuable. And that is really what worth is determined by, right? If you're in the desert, water becomes a hell of a lot more valuable than if you're surrounded by lakes and oceans and shops that sell bottles of water. When you are in the starvation of something, it actually becomes more valuable. So you might have been in situations and environments in the past where what you have to offer doesn't actually match what the environment sees as valuable. So it's not so much anything about you, it's more about asking the question, am I giving my time and attention to the right environments? Am I placing myself in the right relationships? Am I placing myself in the right rooms? Am I putting myself in the situations where what I have to offer can actually be seen as worthy and valuable? Or am I always underselling myself by going for the people that I know can't meet me where I want to be met, or where I know they can't pay me what I want to be paid, or where I know I'm not going to be appreciated because they just don't see the world in the same way that I see the world, and so they don't appreciate what I have to bring to the table? That is what I want you to reflect on and question. Okay, the other card I pulled here is distracted. Funnily enough, the picture is a woman sitting in the ocean. I was just talking about the ocean. Sidetracked, change, delays. You might find that you've wanted to go in a certain direction, or you've wanted to find a certain relationship, and then things keep getting in your path. I really do feel called to speak about relationships with you guys. So maybe you've been through a breakup recently, or for some of you, I'm kind of seeing this conveyor belt of relationships. Like you've gone from one situationship to another one, to another one, to another one. And you're like, I just want someone to just love me and I can feel grounded in it and I can feel settled and I can kind of build a life with that person. For others of you, you might have actually been in a long-term relationship that you've recently got out of. And I feel like what this is showing you is that don't rush the process, because the person will come at exactly the right time. The timing is not up to you. The timing is up to God. The timing is up to the universe. If you keep your heart open, you keep your boundaries strong, you are integral to your yeses, you're integral to your nos, you put yourself in environments where you know that you will be appreciated rather than not appreciated or overlooked, and trust the timing. If you feel that there have been delays and you're looking at other people like, oh, how come they can get that relationship and I can't? You might be questioning, it's too late for me. It's too late for me to find someone, to settle down, to start that journey. I always want to say to you, it is never too late. And it's really about trusting your own journey, but it is about opening your heart. I want to say, keep your heart open. For some of you, you might be having some hip issues. I'm being drawn to the hips, like hip stiffness. And I feel like what I want to say with this is see if you can increase your flexibility. For some of you, you might be trying to find a partner through a very, very specific lens. You're like, they must be this height, they must earn this much money, they must be in this industry, they must live in this location. There might be certain expectations that you're trying to impose on the package of who this human is that you're going to, build a life with. And I almost want to say to you, if you were to just let go of any of those preconceived expectations, I wonder how quickly that person would come through. Because we do push away relationships when we feel like it needs to look a certain way, when we try and control how that package is presented to us. It will probably come through to you in a way that you least expect, in the package that you might not expect. And so it's about being open, because life, God, the universe, it knows exactly who you need, not just what you want, who you need. And so open up to your needs being met through not applying expectations or certain preconceived ideals on how this person needs to show up for you. I do keep really being drawn to relationships. It's very interesting. Let's see what else wants to come through. With the hip, see if you can get into movement, even doing some yoga and doing some hip rolls and hip exercises, really awakening that sacral energy. Maybe some of you just research sacral energy or sacral activation exercises, because I feel like it will just get like the creative juices flowing a little bit, and it will really kind of awaken your sensuality. Okay, I've just pulled the card of looking. It's okay to look for better work. Be discreet in your search. You need to be aligned with your life purpose to feel fully satisfied. So this is the career deck that I've just pulled this from. So for some of you, this is going to be focused on your career. So you're actually searching for something where your worth is actually appreciated. Maybe you're in a position in work where you feel like you're not quite utilizing your strengths, your gifts, your blessings, and you want to be placed in an environment where you can really utilize that. So you're looking for something else that feels like more purposeful, more meaningful, more aligned. For some of you, this will be in relationships. I really, really feel like for some of you, you want to look for a relationship where you can maybe just take a step back a little bit and not be in that hustle mode, exhale, maybe start a family, be more in that kind of just very feminine surrender energy, a little bit more go with the flow. And so maybe you're looking for a partner that can really support you in that, because that's what you desire. So honor that desire. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I know I just said about the preconceived ideals, but what I'm talking about is you've got to know how you want to show up in a relationship, how you want to feel in the relationship, how the person looks or what they do or whatever. Those details you don't need to know. But when you lean into those desires and trust those desires, do not judge that desire to exhale, to be in more flow in this season of your life. That's beautiful. You might want to be more of a homebody and build the home, or start a family, be a mother. Like, all of that is beautiful. And so just really lean into those desires, because the more you do, the more you'll actually actualize them, because you're investing your time, attention, energy into that direction. And with this longing card, focus on what you want from a place of, I know that this can be mine. This is meant for me. Not from a place of, oh, I really just want this. Oh my God, I'm craving this. Because if you're craving and if you're longing, then that thing is in separation to you. It creates separation in the field between where you are now and where you want to be. Whereas if you actually fully entangle with that reality right here, right now, as if it's already happened, and you think it and you feel it and you taste it and you sense it and you smell it and you, all of the things, when you fully immerse yourself into that experience of what it feels like to be in that relationship or to be in that career, then you're investing your time and attention into it already being done. You're depositing in and investing into the bank of it already being done. So it's really, really important. Okay, so what I want to say to you is you're learning to speak your truth. So you might have some throat things going on at the moment, maybe throat clearing. I feel like some of you might feel like you keep clearing your throat recently. Maybe you've been stumbling over your words in conversation, or you feel like you're trying to find the right words to say at times. And I almost just want to say, like, let go. This is your throat trying to express your truth without restriction, without obstruction. And we have been through a throat center clearing and activation as a collective in humanity. So I do really feel like you're being impacted by this as well. So really just trust that. And also think less. I feel like some of you are such overthinkers. And I do want to say, think less. Stop trying to apply control onto how your life turns out through trying to think your way through it and to know every detail. See if you can relax. See if you can open up to life and allow life to support you. Allow life to offer you what it wants to offer you in a way that you might not expect, because that is actually how you're going to start being met in relationships as well. Is opening up to life. How you relate to life is really a reflection of how you show up in your intimate relationships. Allow life to support you. Open your heart. Trust the flow. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there today. I feel like that reading is complete. Hopefully this brings you some sense of confirmation, clarity, and confidence as you move forward. Please know that any struggle of self-worth in your life has been very intentional. It's actually something that you've chosen to experience so that you can experience the opposite. So if you do feel like you've been underappreciated, you've been misunderstood, you've not been heard, seen, or met in the way that you truly desire, just know that it's because that holds the potential for the opposite to be true. So you're just on the journey of that spectrum. You go through everything you don't want to experience so that you know how to activate it, right? This is just the journey of humanity. So isn't that exciting? Isn't that really exciting to know that all of those times that you spent not feeling worthy, questioning why people can't love you in the way that you love them, all of that is intentional for you to actually access that worth within yourself, to hold yourself, to sit in your power, to crown yourself without anyone needing to crown you, and to realize that this is your life to lead. You get to decide who determines your worth. You get to decide how appreciative you want to feel. Okay, this is all amazing. This is all up to you. So I'm sending you so much love, peace, and strength as you go through this season. Subscribe so that you catch future videos, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one.